Hey, right here, right here. Mm, mm. I want this to be my theme song in life. Just real chill, like. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Not Good Enough podcast, hosted by Andy and myself, David. Welcome back to episode 38. Yes, we are
38.
prepared today. Goddamn.
Whoop, whoop.
Woo! Episode 38, The Thinker.
The Thinker.
Yes. So
Mhm.
we are back on another week, Andy. We are.
Oh, man.
A lot of shit has happened, I feel like.
Yeah.
First off, Andy, explain to me and the viewers, our supporters, why we were almost a week late uploading this episode.
Why were
Explain it to me, motherfucker.
Why were we almost? I don't even know. Like, what do you? Oh, my fucking internet, man.
what happened to your fucking internet, man?
Listen, that's already in the past. I'm not trying to think on the negative.
Fucking flashback. Nah.
Huey's going overhead,
Yep.
and oh fuck.
What the
No-
fuck, man? What
No,
happened?
so there was a. It's been raining, yo.
Dog, it's been raining, yo.
No. I mean, it's been raining.
Yeah, like,
okay.
like every day it's been like
It's raining.
Andy, it's been raining.
This shit wet outside. Yeah.
Yo, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
But no, seriously, it's been
It's
raining.
been raining pretty bad, yeah.
Yes, tremendously.
Yeah.
And so Saturday, this past Saturday, no, it was Sunday. It was a couple days
Pick a
after
day.
we recorded.
Yep, pick a day.
Right. We had a huge lightning strike in our neighborhood, and I'm talking like it fucking lit up my house, and I had some lights on. Okay, like you know what I mean? Loud ass bang. I knew that was
Just
close.
scream at your wife. I already got lights on. Turn the rest off. You don't pay the bills.
No, she wasn't home at the time, so it was
Oh.
just me and the cats.
You're probably scared as fuck.
and- Please come home.
Pistachios in Salem are like over you, like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Fuck is yeah, no. They I knew that they were kind of bothered because they were like on alert or something like that. They
Yeah.
knew that like
It was like
it's bad outside. Yo.
it was like on site with whatever came up.
Yeah. So yeah, shortly after that, then my YouTube stopped playing. On the TV because I don't have cable. I don't pay for that. I cut
I
that
don't blame
cord.
you.
Everything's wireless.
You cut that cord?
Right.
Oh God,
Except
cut
for
the
our
cord of your
modem.
internet.
Yeah. Yeah. God forbid I do that, right?
This guy.
But no, what happened was the internet went out, but not my power. So that was interesting and kind of torturous all at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Take everything or none of it, God. Take all
So-
of it or none of it.
So this was on Sunday. It was on Father's Day when
Mhm.
all this happened, and I'm like, I have the whole entire day off. Whatever, I'm just gonna chill. And my wife was out, and she was visiting her mom down south, and like, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Like, I'm literally not gonna do anything.
Which
Like,
is amazing.
I'll do-
We strive for
I'll-
those moments.
Yeah, it's kind of bad when we live to just have a day off.
Dog,
It's
that's
really
what getting
bad.
old is. This just sucks.
Yeah, I'm glad you're finally realizing this.
Dog, and I've been realizing, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just more, I don't know, succumbing of it.
Yes.
But yes, so you're just chilling. And
So
watching
yeah,
TV.
it's Father's Day, and so I'm kind of like, oh, the cat dad, whatever, because
Yeah.
I don't have human kids.
No,
Um,
well, I got a pet. And then our viewers, it's so much different than a kid. You don't even understand.
Yeah, I am not saying that I'm like
It's about the same.
yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, I feed them. It's all right. But anyway, so yeah, that was very interesting. And I'm like, the lights are on, the AC is running, and I was actually kind of concerned because we got Nest, right? So like our AC is hooked up to like the Nest thing, which is connected to my phone.
We're just connected to
which
the
is connected to the network, and that's how it all works. And I'm like, who good is
you're worried about the community property of whatever.
Is the AC not going to work, or is it going to drop to 65 by itself? You know, I'm like,
do I have to cover up, or like I'm just in underwear? I'm supposed to be alone doing nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of sucked. You know, no internet because I couldn't watch like all my shows, whatever.
You told me like your cable got fried and shit.
Yeah,
so like fried only that.
Long story short, so I endured all of Sunday, and then Monday we still didn't have the internet. But I talked to my neighbor Monday morning, and he's like, "Yeah, our internet was down. I was smelling some type of smoke, like and it came from the modem." And I'm like, "Well, you know what? That kind of makes sense because the outlets were working." You know, I tested it with other shit and whatnot, and that little light wasn't blinking on the modem. So I knew something was wrong with it. And I was like, oh, the power strip still works because I had the surge protector, you know, with the thing. Yep. And the only thing that wasn't surge protected was the cable, you know, the actual coax cable. And then, you know, that. Anyway, so I'm under the impression that the lightning traveled through the cable and then fried the modem. Because, I mean, I'm not a scientist or anything like that, but...
I just have glasses that I wear.
But, yes, I shop at the place where scientists shop at. Yeah. With lightning, to my understanding, if you're grounded, you could have electricity run through you, and it because it's going through you. It goes through you, right? But if you're like the end point, you're gonna get all of that fucking energy like in you, right?
Yeah.
So I believe that's what happened with the modem. Like it just traveled through the cable. That's why the cable inside the house isn't like destroyed and the house didn't burn down because of it, because it went to the modem and then just kind of
the modem blew up and imploded internally.
Surprisingly, I didn't even smell anything. Like it didn't smell like it burnt. There was no like.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no evidence or anything like that.
Father's Day and just your underwear with cats, so you probably got like fucking Cheese Whiz and like nachos, like 3 days old somehow.
How'd you know?
Because I myself am a father.
Congratulations.
Of these thoughts that haunt me every day.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yep.
But anyway, so that's why there was a major delay because I had no internet for a couple of days, at least 3 days.
Now, this is a good question right now. Yes. How desperate were you to get your internet back? Because if that was me, dog, I would have you would have had to check up on me. You would have to like come by and like, yo, bruh, you good, man? David.
Well,
hey.
Well, we basically had the internet out for 2.5 days. So Sunday, Monday, and then like the morning of Tuesday, and then by the time that I got home, it was after I went to our service provider, Cox, right? Yep. And I just went there with the modem because Cox come Monday, as I was leaving for work, that's when I was like told by my neighbor, like, "Yo, the modem might be fried."
Yo.
So then Tuesday morning, I brought the modem with me to work, and then I just went there after and got it swapped out, and apparently, you know, there wasn't a problem. That's now, good. What happened to a lot of people, or at least an example that the guy told me about, is there were some people with TVs hooked up, you know, to the cable, you know, directly into the wall, and you know, this shit happens. You know, the TVs get fried. You know, the TVs don't work. So luckily, I was using our provider's modem, so they just swapped it out. You know, if I was using my personal one that I bought like 5 years ago for $250,
you should have answered when they called for that extended warranty.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. They know. They're like, you know, and like you decline now, but in 3 years there will be a lightning strike that you will remember.
It's still gonna take 3 to 5 weeks for me to get a replacement. You know, if I do an extended warranty. I mean, come on. No, that's not.
Yeah. So you're pretty desperate. That's
I wasn't desperate. That's ridiculous. No, I was just in and out of out of Cox, for 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, whatever
Yeah.
it was, and I got home and it was, no problem. Hooked everything back up, reset the password and all that.
I was
It
hoping with all the extra
done.
time that you had that our episode would have been made of fucking gold. Like editing goddess. Goddess? You're not a goddess, right? You be god.
You're a goddess with all that hair.
I mean, since we throwing my name out there.
Stupid. Honestly, I didn't even want to mess with it because I didn't know what the Adobe Cloud does, and
because it's like all in the internet, and when you're not connected to the internet,
I didn't want to lose anything. Like I didn't even want to mess with it.
Yeah, when I texted you, I woke up on Monday, right, and I went to work, and I go through the doors to get my temperature checked, and I'm right after I get my temp checked, I'm like, is our episode up, man? Because like Andy didn't respond to my text yesterday saying I uploaded the audio. So I like check YouTube and it's not there, and that's when I text him like, "Yo, what episode at, bro? You good? What's going on?" And you're like, "My shit's fried." I'm like, it'll probably come back. It'll be back tomorrow.
Nah.
The next day I go to work, I check. I'm like, all right, I won't text him in the morning. I'll get some time, and I wait till the afternoon. I'm like, "Yo, still gone? Where it at though?"
Yeah.
You're like, "Nope, yep, fried." And I'm like, all right, And then like Wednesday, I'm like, we need this shit out now. Where the fuck is it on the cloud? I'll find it. But yeah. no. Thankfully we got that out on yesterday morning, which is Thursday. We'll still have this episode on Monday unless there's another fucking lightning strike. It's been raining like crazy
every single day.
It's crazy because like the week prior, last week we didn't have any rain at all.
Nothing.
I was actually thinking it's been a while since it's rained. I was actually getting concerned for the fucking the climate that we were having at the moment.
We really need some rain.
Yeah, the grass is very thirsty. So yeah, no, I mean I'm glad we're getting rain-ish, but also gotta get your internet on a surge protector or some shit, bro. Damn.
Well, and I asked him about that, and I haven't looked into it or anything like that, but like I know that about like surge protectors, for like outlets and shit,
Yeah.
But what about like cables? And he's like, I mean, yeah, they're out there, but for like 1,000,000 volts going through, there's really not much you can do about it.
So you're telling me there's no protection against 1,000,000 volts?
I don't know. Maybe there is. Who knows?
I'm pretty sure it doesn't go up that high, but that's fine.
Right.
So I mean that was an interesting week for you. Actually, you had something to say this week, which I'm fucking glad. Hopefully next week you have another event that you could talk about.
Yeah. Well,
go outside, Andy. You're having my problem.
No.
No.
Fuck that. No. Hell no.
Nah, dude. Actually, Saturday I was pretty pissed because, I woke up with a hangover. Well, not necessarily. I woke up with a headache. That was the only thing.
Wait. Okay, so you're drinking the blue ones last time.
Yeah.
How many more did you drink?
Of the blue ones?
Well, of anything.
So I haven't drunk since then, and this is my first Smirnoff tonight. I have the other one right there just in case. As soon as I finish this, I can open up without having to take
I meant like Friday night because you had 3 when we were.
I had 3. That's the only thing I had left.
Last episode, and that was it.
That was it. That's the only thing I had left. And by the time we finished, Publix was closed. I was thinking, bro, I would have gone over there, because I wasn't drunk. I was a little bit tipsy, but I feel like I could have still driven.
You would have gone to that gas station.
Yeah. I mean, it's also right across the street. I probably wouldn't have driven. I would have just. You got to drink responsibly. #.
You drink then drive. Multitasking is dangerous.
Yeah, well, it's proven that men are actually harder at multitasking than women.
It's true. I am not gonna try to front like, no, I can do one thing at a time.
Yeah. So Saturday, I woke up with a little bit of just a headache is what I had. I went to work for 4 hours. What the fuck is the point of that? I went there, whatever. I got home, and then my brother calls me. Right, this is exactly. I'm like, hello? He's like, I adopted you a dog. And I just started laughing. I'm like, take it back. I don't want it. He's like, yeah, man, I adopted you a dog. You need one. It's about time you get some responsibility. I said, I don't want it.
I live by myself.
I was like, I don't want the responsibility. Take it back. I don't want it.
I literally did not sign up for this.
I adopted you a dog. I don't know. No. Say it ain't so, Junior. Say it ain't so. But no, he was joking. And then he's like, you want to go to the gym? I'm like, I bet. Mind you, I was on the toilet the whole time this conversation was happening. Obviously, I mean, that's the first thing you gotta do when you get home. You gotta go to the poopers. So I'm on the shitter, and we get out the phone. I'm like, all right, let me get up. I flush. The water go up a little high, and I'm like, all right, that was a little close call right there. That's fine. We'll just see. Let's wait for it to go down a little bit, and let me flush again. Because it didn't flush. It just got a little bit higher, and it went down to like midway, and I'm like, all right, that should be fine. I flushed again, bro. This shit started going up, and I'm like, oh no. So good thing my first instinct was, let me toss the mats that I have in my bathroom. I fucking tossed that out of the bathroom, and then the shit started overflowing, and I'm like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So I immediately grabbed the plunger, and I'm like, I start fucking plunging it, and I finally got it to go through as half the fucking bathroom is flooded, and I turn around and I look at the mirror, and I lift up my shirt, and I'm like, and I said out loud, I hate my life. And I'm like, ah, shit. And then my brother's like, I'm on the way to the gym. So I'm like, I'm in a hurry. I'm in a rush. I got to get dressed. And he was closer to the gym than I am, man. I don't like making people wait.
And then you're like, I'm ankle deep in shit.
No, it was about like pinky toe deep.
Gross.
It wasn't too much, but it was half the bathroom. And I'm like,
oh, that sucks.
So I'm like, well, thankfully, none of the, it's graphic. I'm sorry. It was just water. It was just liquid that overflowed. Thank God. Thank goodness. But
plop, plop, plop,
plop, yep.
plop.
You just hear like bombs dropping. What the fuck is that? But no, I'm like, well, what the fuck do I do now? Obviously, this only happens to me. Well, not only, but I feel like
no, it doesn't.
No, it does. No, obviously, it doesn't only happen to me. But I feel like this type of shit in a situation where this happens to me, it only happens to me. But I'm like, all right, so I gotta go like right now. So I grabbed my box fan, I put it outside the thing, I turned that bitch on 3 out of 3, and then I turn on the little like dehumidifier or whatever, like built into the bathroom switch. There's like the light switch and there's the other one that is like the fan. I did that shit and I left. I sprayed some Febreze too, just in case. And then I left, and I came back like 5 hours later. It was not a 5-hour workout, but my brother, he was like, "Yo, I never got your birthday present. Let's go to TJ Maxx." We went to TJ Maxx, bought a shirt, bought this one right here I'm wearing, bought the shorts too, bought some bunch of shit. Then we went to the Nike factory, bought a bunch of shit. Went to Tommy, bought some shit. This man spent a cool $1,000 in 3 hours. $1,000 in 3 hours.
Nice.
And wow, the whole time I was having like an anxiety attack. I'm like, dude, are you sure? I mean, like, it wasn't just my stuff. But he it got to the point where I was uncomfortable grabbing stuff because I'm like, I don't want to add to whatever the fuck this man's bill is his statement's gonna say.
Wow.
But yeah, it was like, it's cool G, and I'm like, shout out to Junior, fucking, that was some real shit. And I got home and I look at the bathroom floor and I'm like, well, it's just dry. And then I spray like half the fucking can of Febreze. Wait a second. Let it all fall, and then go get even higher. And then I put the fan on again so it could circulate the air, and then I cleaned the floor. And
okay, so you actually did clean the floor.
Yeah, I had to go to Publix too because I don't have any like towels or shit that I'm like willing to throw away right after. I had to buy some microfiber towels and shit. It's more Smirnoff. Drink responsibly. #. And I just had to do all that shit. And I was just so angry the whole time I was at the gym. Because my brother, he got in there, he's like, yo, that dog I was talking about was so cute, Dakota. And I'm like, man, fuck you and your feelings. I'm angry. I'm lifting all these weights. I was so pissed.
I'm lifting the machine.
And then like halfway through the workout, I'm like, dog, imagine if the fan like falls over because it's going so hard and then the place catches on fire.
And just splatters everywhere.
No, and the fan catches on fire or some shit. Like I just overthink a lot. So I'm like, what if I just go home and it's not there? Can you imagine going home and it's not there, Andy? Like, it's void? Dog, I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then he's like, let's go to shopping. And I'm like, oh,
your
fine.
Unit's the only unit that's like
it doesn't exist anymore. Like, not even my mailbox is there, nothing. My parking space that doesn't even have my number on it, it just doesn't exist. There's no parking space there.
Just a grass patch
there.
Yep,
grass patch. Yep. Not even like on a curb, just like on the pavement.
Yeah.
They just put like turf on top. Yeah, fucking.
And it looks obvious.
Yeah,
Somebody
nah,
just
for
put
sure.
turf.
Like the edge control is not there. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, no, I was overthinking. I'm like,
Oh
I
my
got
God.
fucking scared. So thankfully that shit worked out because dog, I was pissed and I had to go to work the next day. And and then the next day I'm putting on my scrubs, and then as I'm putting on my scrub pants, I like see my floor, and I'm like, why the fuck can I see my carpet right now? I should not be able to see my carpet. Turns out, humongous hole in the gooch of my scrub pants. The gooch area was just open. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I text my coworker, which he's not able to do anything anyways, but I just texted him. I'm like, my fucking pants are ripped. Because I just had to tell somebody how angry I was. And I'm like, I can't believe this weekend. And no, I had to go to work for about a week. With the scrub pants like that, because I ordered more from the company, but it just hasn't arrived yet. And
so what'd you do?
Well, today it got to the point where I texted the store manager. And I'm like, bro, the hole is even bigger now. Like, it's all on my ass. All my ass is showing. Can I wear khakis? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, cool, because it's like the only scrub pants I got. So, and I don't know how to sew. I know how to cook. What, you know how to sew?
Well, sewing itself is very simplistic. It's like I'm not a huge expert on it, but I could sew the patch up.
Well, it's in my ass area.
You would not be wearing them as I'm sewing it back
them correctly.
It doesn't matter. Like there would not be a hole anymore,
and that's why you're not an expert.
Never said I was. God.
Nah, but yeah, no, that's definitely that had me I was railed on anger. I was railed, and then it derailed me, and I got into more anger because I was derailed from the anger I was already.
And then the hole got bigger.
And then the hole.
And
got
you're like,
bigger. I start punching the scrub pants. You motherfucking No, I was angry.
Or even more. Garrett.
No, it's a half right now.
Nice.
Yeah, it's in half.
Nice.
But yeah,
you could say you scrub them.
Ha ha ha. But no, I think that's all with me. You have anything else to add?
No.
Before we go on this.
No, I'm just glad that the internet was able to get fixed.
Yes.
Because it's not just because every single game that I end up playing these days is completely online and nothing's offline. What the fuck? That's. There are a few games, but like the recent games that I'm playing are just like online connected.
I have a whole bunch of consoles we could have played together, and I had internet. You don't give a fuck about me. I understand. I don't either.
No, it doesn't. You had things going on. Your toilet overflowed. Like I did not want
fixed it.
I did not want to get into your shit. You know what I'm saying? Literally, gross. But I was more concerned about having internet connection for my wife, because there's some times where she works from home and she needs internet connection.
Tell her no.
Well, that was gonna be my plan B. It's like, I'm sorry, you just gotta go to work.
I'm sorry, no, leave. You don't want me here? No, you gotta go.
No, I go to work every single day.
I know, but
like I don't have the ability to work from home.
You can't print from home?
Oh my god. I don't do the printing.
No, of course. I'm sorry.
I just work digital files. I don't even need to physically be there.
You don't need any physical. You don't do any physical labor. You fucking guppy. I know. I understand.
Not anymore, bitch. Listen, man. I've been doing it for 10 years.
You're making your body obsolete.
It's all about my mind, man. I was able to go to school. Better my mind.
Twice for the same thing.
And now I can finally do it.
About to go get for the third time to do the same shit.
I could just go on my laptop in bed and work. That's how awesome that is. But there's physical paperwork involved, so I can't do it. I gotta be there.
Just getting that bitch in.
They're not gonna do that for me. I'm still on probation. Damn it.
Gotta wait another 3 months.
Anyway, so that's it. Like, just that was this week's milestone was.
Yeah, and also Andy found out actually. You found out about insurance today.
Oh yeah. Turns out
Andy took a step into my world today.
turns out my my thoughts and feelings on the insurance world stands, and
as
I
negative.
hate it.
Hate it.
I hate insurance. There's two things I hate, and hate is a very strong word. Would you
Yes.
agree with me?
I use it all the time.
Would you agree with me? Thanks.
Yep.
So I hate two things. One, insurance. Two,
Myself.
tax.
Oh.
Like tax season.
Oh, tax season?
Yes.
Oh, I
like
love it. I get money back.
filing taxes.
Super easy.
I mean,
That's
you
actually
go to
brings
other
us-
countries, for example, like Europe or something like
Uh-huh.
that. If I am not mistaken, tax is included with the price. That's what happens when,
Yeah.
when some people come over here and they travel. They're like, "The fuck is this tax?"
What the fuck? I thought I was paying $8.99.
You know, it says
no,
it's
sir.
$4. Why is it $4.52?
Yeah, I think it's called. Jesus Christ, man, I almost came out itself. It's called the. What's it
It's
called? The
called
VAP. What's it called? The VAP or something? VAC. The VAC. VAC. No, was it VAC? Hold on.
Oh Lord.
Hold on.
Oh,
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Oh God.
Keep
Okay.
talking.
Just don't push. Don't push that button.
No, but yeah, no. Gosh, I will get pissed.
Yeah, that's my understanding. Who knows if it changed since Brexit or something like that. Like I don't
Brexit.
know. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, those are two things that I hate, and I'm trying to better myself, and try and get some drugs from David and whatnot.
On the
legally,
side, we could do it. I don't pay
legally.
tax.
Legally. You
Por la
don't. Well,
izquierda.
you don't charge tax. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Por la izquierda.
Por la quinta. Right? What'd you say?
Fuck no. Por la izquierda.
Oh wow, that is not what you said before.
Yes, that's honestly exactly what the fuck I said.
Oh my god. I think the next drug I'm trying to look into is some hearing drugs. Is that a thing, or
Hearing drugs?
or is just hearing
Oh, don't
aids?
ask me. I dropped out of school. I don't
What?
know. No, that's a pharmacist question. I can call him up if you want.
You got them on speed dial.
I got somebody else beat down.
I don't know who I'm calling right now, but it looks like a.
I almost actually called somebody. I wasn't trying to. No, I couldn't find that. I think it's called the VAC or some shit like that. Where it's like
Okay.
the taxes is included into the actual product. Like so if you go
Yeah.
to like England, you see the product on the shelf, it'll actually have on the Mylar the
Mhm.
prices that you will pay, not
Mhm.
that already have the taxes included.
Yeah.
And here is not the fucking case.
No.
And it also depends on like state tax and like local tax.
Mhm.
So like local tax here in Alachua County is what 7%
Yes.
or 0.7%.
No.
7%. 7%.
7%.
I wish it was 0.7.
If you're doing it like you're timesing something, it'll be 1.07 because it's 0.07.
Or you could just whatever. Never mind.
It's 7%. It's not 0.07%.
Or you could just get the price of the product and
It's-
times it by
it's-
107. No, 1.07.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
What?
If you get the price of a product here,
Mhm. Yep.
like in Alachua, let's say it's
calculator.
let's say it's $4.99, $5.
Oh, you fucking $5.
It's $5, right?
Mhm.
If you times
Yep.
it by 1.07,
1.07.
that's how much you'll pay.
Correct. 1.07.
Then why'd you look
yes.
at me like I'm an idiot?
Because I was lost in my own.
I might have failed
David,
math, but
I was lost in my own thought, and I wasn't listening to what you said. That's why I'm like, what?
Of course, Andy doesn't listen to anything I say.
So it'll be
No, I think
535.
you're just naturally skeptical of anything that has any calculations of when I say stuff.
Yes.
When have I ever been wrong?
Well,
When have I ever been proven wrong?
on that note, we're going to take a break.
We are going to take a break.
And after this break, we're going to continue our segment of open-ended questions.
Yes, we will. Our ongoing series. And we'll catch you in a little.
All right, and welcome back to the second half of episode 38
Episode 38.
of the Not Good Enough podcast.
Just when you thought we were prepared. What's the episode name?
That's right. The Thinker.
Ah, yes. Andy has a little notepad that he won't fucking let me touch or
Mhm.
see or
No,
read.
that's correct.
Yeah, that is correct.
So,
So,
we
yeah.
are continuing the segment of open-ended questions, and this week's question is, David, are you ready for this? Thank you for that. What strategy do you use to make big decisions? And go.
I don't. All right, so we're gonna finish that now. So I do a couple different strategies. I do it in like steps. So depending on how big the decision is, I might skip a step.
Big decision.
Big, yeah. But big could be like, it's like big with one eye or big with two eyes. You know what I'm saying? Or like big with three eyes. Oh my! I've only had like one in my life.
All caps.
Oh shit.
B-I-G. Big.
Big. No, so I do it in like steps. It's like levels. And like depending on how big the decision is, I might skip like 2 levels. But my first level is, what will the future look like in terms of, by the time I make the decision, because usually when you have big decisions don't happen right away. Like it's not something you have to make on the spot. You know, usually you have like a week or whatever the fuck your decision is. Usually, sometimes it's internally that you make it within yourself, so there's not really a deadline per se. But my first thing is, by the time I make the decision, what type of person will I be? Will I be the type of person that doesn't give a fuck or does give a fuck? Because I have multiple personalities, right? Some days I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll go outside and streak. I don't care. Other days, I'm like, I am the most fucking safeguarded vanguard fucking person in the universe. I want her to fly. I won't do anything to expose myself to the outside world. So I gotta know what the fuck. I gotta like times it. It's like a period. I gotta be like, all right, so like my cycle hitting up soon. So I gotta know when the fuck this decision gonna be. So I could just gotta gauge what type of personality I'm gonna be at during that time. You know, that's like step one.
Oh God. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Step one.
That's it. Because you know.
So your
things
first. Hold up. Let me make sure I'm understanding this for our audience and myself.
Yep.
Your first step is to evaluate the. Yeah, I'm getting it from you. You're evaluating this decision that you have to make, and your action is gonna depend on how you think you're gonna be in the future after of the decision.
No, at the time of the decision. When I'm making the decision, I have to try to think ahead and be like, what type of mood am I going to be at the time of me making the decision? Because it doesn't matter if let's say you give me a decision, David, next week, are we gonna, what's background let's say it's a big decision. Are we gonna go green screen or no green screen? Let's say the whole week I'm like, we're gonna go green screen, and then the next week happens and you're here and you're like, so David, did you decide? Do you want to go green screen or no green screen? Even though the whole week I could have been like, we're going green screen, that day I might be like, well, fuck it, I'm going no green screen. It doesn't matter what I think my decision will be. It depends on what my mood will be in that moment. Right? That's level 1.
How do you anticipate your mood?
You got to know yourself. You got to be comfortable with yourself. I know I'm dynamic. That's the way I like to call it. I know I'm dynamic.
Okay.
So I have to try to think ahead and be like, all right. Well, it also depends on what I do like throughout the day. Sometimes I'm more susceptible to being more dynamic if like I do certain shit that's like sort of like reckless, or you know, I like sticking to a routine. Like every morning I go to work, I get a coffee or an energy drink. One day I get all reckless, so reckless in quotation marks, and I don't get one, and I get like a fucking soda or whatever. That could make me in the I don't give a fuck mood all day. So you know,
accidentally get the non-caffeine drink.
Yes, exactly. So you know, whenever a big decision happens, I have to make sure on that day of the decision I do everything right to try to be as consistent as possible. That's level 1. Level 2.
I'm getting anxiety just.
Don't worry. I only got 3 levels.
Oh Lord.
Level 3 is the best one. It's the one that I do every single time. But level 2 is like kind of more the level 2 for big decisions. I pull an all-nighter. I pull an all-nighter and see if my my thought on the decision that I make is gonna be the same from when I started to when I finished the all nighter. From the moment that I decide I'm gonna do the all nighter to the moment that I decide, holy shit, I should probably go to sleep. Will my decision be the same? Because like I said last episode, I overthink a lot of shit. So if I'm just like constantly thinking about it and stuff and overthinking, if I have the same decision from like my hypothesis of a decision from the beginning of me being in a like a non-fatigue mindset to at the end of a fatigue mindset, I'm just gonna absolutely if that's consistent, then that means that I'm absolutely sure I want to make this decision. And then level 3, the best one. It's the one I do no matter what, right? I call it the shoot and decide method. Shoot and decide method.
Mm-hmm.
I start thinking about a decision, right? And then I bust a nut. and I think about the decision again. And then I could decide perfectly. Because once you bust that nut, Andy, your mind clears the fuck up. Whatever you had a problem with before, you don't give a fuck now. Like the green screen problem. Let's back to the green screen example. Let's say before I bust a nut, I'm like, well, yeah, I'm worried about the stand and like, well, maybe we don't have enough clips. Like I start thinking about unnecessary shit other than just, do we want the green screen or not the green screen? If let's say I'm like, all right, let me rip my pants off. Let me bust my nut. Let me take 2 deep breaths after my third rope. And then I start thinking, man, fuck those clips. We got enough. That stand is good. We'll keep the green screen. That's literally helps me make a good decision.
Wow, so you basically decide 3 times.
Yes. Well, I have to. It's a big decision for stuff. Sometimes I do it for small decisions. My level 3 for big decisions is my level 1 for any other decision in my life that I have at least a little bit of time for in privacy.
I think it just evolved that way. I don't think that was always your...
it cures a lot of shit. Sometimes I wake up with a headache. Like on Saturday, I woke up with a headache. I busted a nut. It kind of went away. It relieves the stress and pressure in your body.
Man. Okay,
yeah. I might be saying some shit where you're like, here goes David speaking his stuff again. But I'm like, I'm speaking some real shit.
Yeah, you can't really make this up, man.
No, you can't make it up.
This
is why this is the Not Good Enough podcast.
Yeah, okay.
And GE.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what goes into you making a big decision?
Well, I try to be more logical.
My shit was pretty.
You go into like an altar and shit, crumpling up some like.
You have to go into the altar of your mind and confess to yourself the sins that you committed to yourself. And you have to forgive yourself while also evolving as a person within yourself. Real shit.
The fuck? Alright, hold on. I need to...
I gotta chill out real quick. That motherfucker tripping. Thinking in your head, this is my goddamn co-host. Thank God my wife is a therapist.
God, yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to her tonight. 38 episodes, man. The fuck?
What the fuck is going on?
So,
the alcohol's bringing it up.
Say, making a big decision. I need to think about this one because it's a big decision.
Yes.
See what I did there?
Yeah.
So I try to be logical on this stuff, right? I try to break it down and think about all of the different possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, for example, I'm going to use...
the green screen example.
No, I'm going to use, like, my wife and I talking about getting married.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's a big decision, right?
Sure.
Once you make the decision that, yes, the 2 people are getting, in fact, married, then the decision-making of all of the things involved in a wedding. Now, we talked about weddings before, so I'm not going to go into complete details on it, but there's the location. First and foremost, are you just going to get eloped? You just going to get married, sign the document, call it a day? Yeah, you're
what
gonna
I
have
do.
a
I gotta go back
ceremony.
to sleep.
Well, I mean that's the inexpensive route for the legal purposes, and then you can spend all the rest of the money that you want on a honeymoon or down payment to a house. You
Or
know, if you really
shoes.
want to start doing that.
A pair of shoes for both.
That's
of us.
between you and your
wife.
significant other.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can, y'all can fight about that one. Okay.
Ain't no fight I want.
She wants the shoes. Who's gonna have more shoes?
Me.
God.
If she catches up, I'll just buy more.
Don't worry about you, man. Anyway, so I really break it down, right? My wife and I, we're breaking it down, and we're really thinking about pros and cons, and just kind of like we mapped everything out, like what's connected to what. Like we figured out that we needed to know how many people that we wanted to. Well, that was a deciding factor. We needed to know how many people were going to be there. Well, at first we were like 100 and some people, because I mean extended family and all this shit. I'm like, that's a lot. And then we needed to figure out, well, what's important to us. Getting
not our extended family.
Just tiny circle.
Yep. 3 friends each.
That's right. With 3 friends, including us 2. You know, so just one extra person.
One extra person. Micah goes.
Who the heck? So yeah, the whole the location, figuring out like all right, you threw me off by saying Micah. He was there, but anyway, so we had to decide what's important to us: having a ceremony, having a reception, having a destination wedding. You know, any of these things. Like it's all thinking it out, breaking it down, looking at all the different variables. You know, trying to make the best decision because it's a big decision, right?
Sure.
So, once we decided on the small things, like on the small parts of it, like she really wanted a ceremony. And I really didn't care that much about having a ceremony. I would prefer having a reception, right? Because I'd rather have a whole bunch of people over and
just chilling,
hang out, celebrate, whatever, right? Yep. That's what I really wanted. And she wanted to have a ceremony, so we ended up having both. And long story short, we ended up having the reception at a restaurant because we didn't want.
Did you? I was there. Never mind.
You were there. Because we didn't want to have like a buffet.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't want to have people go around. We would have people served, right? But still, we didn't want to be classy, but not too casual and all that stuff. And it was all inclusive and all this stuff. So those were perks. Those were pluses for making that decision. And remember how everything's all connected.
Yeah.
Like that one. That decision, doing it at a restaurant, there was a maximum number of people that we could have.
So that decision lead into the
decision
of how many
there's
people
how many people that we're going to invite. And then the location of the wedding had plenty of space, so that wasn't a problem then. So thinking the little parts rather than trying to figure it out all at once. Like the other saying is, you can't see the tree because of the forest.
Yeah.
You're seeing too much. You just got to focus on the little parts, and that's how
why
I like to make big, answer like big decisions.
Well, that's why I do level 3. My shoot and decide.
Sure.
Because I'm looking at the forest and I'm like, oh my god, I'm getting overwhelmed by the forest. Bop, bop, bop. Oh, that tree's right there. That's an oak tree. I got it right now. I can see every piece. I can see the rings inside the tree, even though the tree's not cut down. That's how much crystal clear mind I have.
Wow.
Yeah. Level 3 is the best level.
Or in the regular, that's how foggy your mind is.
Dun, dun, dun. But yeah. No, I mean, because... Forgot what I was going to say.
Fuck foggy.
Holy fuck, you owe me a soda. Or no, Smirnoff.
It's right there.
No, fuck you. It's my house. But no, I mean, but what do you do in the sense of how do you try to limit mind fatigue? Because that shit does play into it. That shit will 100% like you might just like not compromise, but be complacent to any type of decision when you're just like, I've been thinking about this for 6 hours. I'm fucking tired. I have to make a decision by tomorrow, and I have to go to sleep. You know, how do you overcome the issue of mind fatigue?
Well, I don't think about it the whole entire time, right? Like, because then you have mind fatigue. You know,
must be nice. I can't get my mind on off shit no matter what the fuck happens.
I force myself on something else. Like, I focus on something else. Like, because you can't do that. You can't pull an all-nighter because that's not healthy. You know, to be up all night thinking about a decision and, you know, I don't know, just my point of view. Like, if my decision of, like, is here, and then by the time that I'm still up for 24 hours, I'm still thinking the same thing. But I can't, you know.
Well, it's okay, Four Eyes. Your perspective can be your own. But my thing is... What was that laugh? My thing is, if I'm at the beginning of a decision of, like, an all-nighter, my level 2, and I'm thinking about all this shit, because I overthink most of the things that happen in my life.
You're not the only one that
I touched on this. I touched base on this last week, or actually yesterday, Andy, since you fucking internet. But nah, I touched base on this last week on last episode. But I overthink a lot. So like, if I start at an all-nighter and I start thinking stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm still leaning towards this decision. If I go through, because I can't force myself to think other things, because eventually it'll just get to the point in my head where I'm like, where I tell myself, okay, I have to do this thing to not think about this thing, but then I'm thinking, I'm thinking to myself, thinking that I have to overcome this thing because I'm thinking about something else, and then it's in this loop of, okay, I gotta not think about this by doing this, but I'm thinking about this by telling myself not to think about this. So because I can't do that, I can't force myself to think about something else. So if I do an all-nighter, and if I go throughout the whole thing and still be able to lean towards the same decision, then I feel like that's the decision that I feel I'm comfortable making.
Yeah, because everything else is gone, and that is still there.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. It must be true.
Yeah. Energy gone, eye sockets sore, mouth dry, life helpless.
Body limp.
Body limp, shoulder on pain, fire.
Biofreeze out.
Yeah. Voltaren all over.
Yeah, gross. Okay, so I guess the equivalent of you doing an all-nighter, I sleep on it.
You sleep on it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Must be able... I can't even sleep.
You should probably get that looked at, my friend.
Well, it's fine. I'll just talk to your wife.
That's getting it looked at, my friend.
Sure.
Because, yeah, it's like going to the gym, right? You just said tonight, like, man, I feel more powerful.
Yeah, I mean, since we bringing it up,
yeah. But anyway, you know, so working out those muscles and whatnot, you know, like able to sleep on the things, and you know, it's then once you wake up, or once I wake up and I get back on that topic, you know, I usually you know, like I can look at it again, and you know, like I'm not caught up in like the emotion of like thinking about it at first and all this stuff, and you know, look back at my notes and, you know, rest of like, you know, whatever is going on, you know,
the board with all the like red string going from one thumbtack to the next one.
Absolutely.
With like question marks written in red Sharpie.
Yeah, I wake up and it's like, I knew we were like, you know, thinking about a decision and whatnot. Like, what the hell were we talking about? And I look at the title.
Going to my red room.
The title is, you know, dinner plans for Saturday night.
Yeah. You have like different newspaper clippings.
Like, we can't make a decision on dinner? What the fuck? But no, I mean that's basically my big decision planning. I
Sleeping on it.
literally just break, not just sleeping on it. It's That's one of the steps that I do.
Breaking down, sleeping on
But
it.
Yes, I break it down, and I break the big decision into a whole bunch of smaller ones. Because it's a little bit easier to focus on the little ones, and it just, when we planned for our wedding, it just fell together. As we were, and I broke it up into little parts, and answering this question and figuring out what we want to do here. I'm like, oh, well, that would work perfectly for this. Oh, that's gonna work perfectly for that.
So that sounds nice, and I will admit that sounds more effective to do. What I have noticed.
Well, thank you.
Thanks, huh? But what I have noticed with myself is, since I do overthink a lot and stuff, if I break it down into smaller things, then that just gives me more things to like, not regret, but like have doubt over. So usually I would do the opposite as you. I would just make it just one decision, boom, that's it. I don't have to think about anything else. Because this is why the gym is helping me mentally too. Because since I have all these other things, these like, let's call them like issues or problems in my head, like this is my interview for like Arkham Asylum. But nah, so like I have all these like issues in my head. With the gym and stuff, it's obviously it's helping me like physically and look better and all that stuff, but then also it's making me feel better, and it's helping me like get rid of some of the insecurities that I have. So that's one less problem in my head. So it's decluttering my brain of some issues. And if I just add more like smaller issues or smaller things, because of I'm breaking down a decision into smaller parts, it's just gonna add more things and clutter my brain, and then it's just gonna give me one more thing to think about randomly at like 3 in the morning because I can't fucking sleep. So I like to make it just one decision, so I'm not thinking, oh man, that one time I should have did this because they would have helped it during this decision, or I wish I didn't do this because that would have affected how this decision came out to be, and how it actually unfolded. So I make this shit into one decision, so where I don't have to think about all that shit. I'm just thinking about, if I do make a wrong decision, because it does fucking happen. Everybody makes a wrong decision, or what they feel like is a wrong decision. If I do end up doing that, it's just I fucked up and I should have said yes, or I should have said no, instead of I fucked up because of these little things that led up to me saying yes or no, because I made smaller decisions and broke it up apart. Some deep shit.
Yeah.
I'm no longer drinking alcohol.
Well, you're halfway there from last time.
Yep. No. Yeah. Bottle and a half. I'm doing good. Doing better.
Proud of you.
As soon as you leave, watch out. I saved up the whole case for this weekend.
Oh boy.
But yeah, no, that's what I end up doing. I feel like it helps me more. But then also, I mean, this is depending on what goes on in your life, listeners, because obviously everybody works different, and I mean, at a certain point in your life, you'll understand yourself to the point where you know what works for you and what does not. It doesn't.
That's right.
It's not something you know from day one. It's obviously something you have to learn from yourself, because you're learning from yourself. I'm learning from myself just as much as I'm learning from you, from talking to you every day or whatever. So,
and you teach me so many things, my friend.
To not do. Yeah. And how to overcome these when I have my kid. But no, I mean, everybody's different. So if you understand yourself, you got honestly, you got to do just what works for you.
That's right. Yeah. And similar to what you just said, like you can't really compare yourself with somebody else.
It's difficult because there's 8 billion people in the world, and each person has a different brain inside them. Each person is an individual. They might do generalistic shit where, I don't know, some people, they might follow this group or be part of this group or that group and that group, but each person in that group is an individual of themselves. And even though they may act similar to other people around them, that it doesn't take the fact away that these people are their own people. So, each person is different. You can't compare yourself to other people because you don't know what the fuck they've been through and what's going on in their head. It's impossible to know. So, I mean, that's just another problem that would add up in your head if you start thinking, Sandy doesn't have this problem because of this, and she made this decision. I got to be more like her. Well, no, you don't have to be like somebody else. You have to become the best version of yourself.
Yeah. That's right. Do some quick math here. So there's 24 hours in a day, right?
Yep.
There's 60 minutes in an hour.
Yep.
And there's 60 seconds
In a
minute. So that means there is basically 86,400 variables in a day for every single person. Like, because everything can change like in a second.
Yeah.
You could learn something in a second. You can decide something in a second. You
can become a completely different person in 1 second.
Sure, you can have a life-changing moment. You can have a car accident. You could have you could get hit by a car or something like that, survive.
That's what I did.
And then have PTSD, right? But then there was your best friend was right next to you, didn't get hit by a car, their leg wasn't hurt or anything like that. They never went to the hospital, whatever. Your best friends, but then they have PTSD, but this person doesn't, and it's every single day.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Yeah, and imagine somebody my age, 21 years. I mean, times that by 21 years, or it won't be times 21, but it'll
times 21. Sure. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
So let's 1,000 million. So 1,814,400.
If the math is correct.
Variables on your 21st birthday, the second you were born, 21 years later. 1.8 million.
Plus the leap years.
Yeah, that's round numbers.
So yes. So you got to end up being your own person, and you got to see what works for you.
You can't. Yeah, there's so many variables. You cannot compare yourself. Do not beat yourself up. Don't look at those. Perfect body magazines, if we're talking about trying to feel good about yourself and all that stuff.
No, and here's the thing is learning about yourself is really able to make a big decision. You have to be able to make the smaller decisions.
That's right.
Because something has to train you up to make that big decision. So that's what you got to do, and that's what we end up doing every single day. We make smallest decisions every day, and that builds us up to make a big decision that could change our lives, and either hopefully for the better, but maybe for the bad. But that's up to you and what happens in your life. And that concludes us. That concludes this episode for today, episode 38, The Thinker.
We done concluded.
We done concluded this shit. So we will catch you on our next episode whenever that comes out, Andy. Wink, wink.
Thursday?
I don't fucking know at this point. What's the weather looking like?
Rain. It's gonna rain.
Shit.
Ollie, the weatherman from Family Guy.
Yep. Now I know.
Yep.
Yep.
It's gonna rain.
It's gonna rain. Real quick. But yeah, we will catch you on the next episode. We thank you very much. We hope that you keep listening to us and keep returning. We appreciate you. Please subscribe, like, share with your friends, your family, your mom. And then that's about it. Is that the congratulations that are in order?
Congratulations.
Yes, we love you.
We love you. Thank you.
And you have a wonderful night. That's a good thing about having a mustache. Just do random noises with it.
Did we ever use this one?
Yes. Yes, we did about 3 episodes ago. I found my new voiceover character. Yes, we did about 3 episodes ago. I sound like Ronald Reagan.
I don't know, man.
The fuck was that noise? Boosie Mud. Hey. Manscaped, what? Oh, do you think they made 3 ball accessories?
Is that what happened to your scrubs?
Their ball must have ripped through.
One size fits all my ass.
They probably have like a ball holder or whatever. It's like 2. So I like.
It's called a jock strap, man.
Sure. I'm like. No, I don't.